D, wait for it, light bulb.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So, me and my friend, Speed Force Spectre, are here. Speedy, you want to say hi?
Yes, hi. Hello.
We are going to be reviewing the movie Luca, which both of us saw. But before I get started on that, I just want to say that if you like what we do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to our channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like ours usually get pushed to the back of the line. But they don't usually, they always get pushed to the back of the line. So we please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and we thank you in advance. I also ask that you, go check out Speed Force's channel. If you're watching mine, come check out my channel if you're watching his. And then also like and share any small YouTuber that you find out there. I'm pretty sure they would appreciate it. So let's get started on this movie review. I just want to start off by saying that it was directed by Enrico Casarosa. I'm going to say that. I hope I said it right. It's starring the voices of Jacob Tremblay, Jack Dylan Grazer, Emma Berman, Salvaro Raimondo, Maya Rudolph, Marco Baracelli, Jim Gaffigan, Peter San, Lorenzo Crisci. Gosh, there's so many hardcore names. Marina Massaroni and Sandy Martin. I should have narrowed that down to like 5 of them. And the premise of this movie is it's set in a beautiful seaside town on the Italy Riviera. The original animated feature is a coming of age story about a young boy named Luca experiencing an unforgettable summer filled with gelato, pasta, and endless scooter rides. Luca shares these adventures with his newfound best friend, but all the fun is threatened by a deeply held secret. He is a sea monster from another world just below the water's surface. So, Spectre, I would like to ask you just to start out with, what did you think of this movie overall?
I thought it was just a fun, cute little movie. Nothing too big, nothing too grandiose. Just really, perfect. And it is what it is for what they wanted to do. And I feel like the filmmakers did a great job of the story they wanted to accomplish.
Right on. Me personally, I thought it was like subpar to what I'm used to with Pixar. Like it was mediocre at best for me. There were times when I was like, oh, like for me, the first like we'll say the first half was I thought was pretty solid. But the last half I was just like, oh, I'm bored with this. I like wrap it up because I've had enough of I've had my fill of Luca Land. So yeah,
We'll save that first couple sentences you just said for the end.
right on. Okay, so for my next question is, in this movie, who was your favorite character?
Definitely Luca and Alberto.
Right on. Mine was Luca. I connected with that character. I connected with the dad and well, not so much the dad from the sea monster dad, because he was all into those show crabs, which were like show dogs, and I'm like, I don't understand that at all. I've never been into that. But then the one dad that was all like missing the arm, I kind of got his whole take on the thing and everything.
Yeah.
But I did like Luca. I connected with Luca because he was like a good kid, but he wanted to like be bad and everything. And I was like, oh, that was so me when I was younger. I was all like, hey, we need to follow the rules, but at the same time, you're all like, but what if we break them? Kind of thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
no,
what
that's
made-
kind of me with both Luca and Alberto. They're like both sides. I'm like, yeah, these I could definitely relate to.
Right on. So, what did you think of the animation of this movie?
It was very different from Pixar, and
I
I
agree.
like that they kind of Pixar doesn't have like the same human designs as Disney does, because there's a whole Disney princess looking the same debate, which is like true-ish, but not 100%.
Mhm.
To a degree, but like Luca, just the human designs and the sea monster designs, just like they look perfect, and it just looks completely different from everything else that they did, and it makes this film stand out a lot more.
Did you like this animation style compared
I did.
to? Right
I
on.
did. I felt like it was very expressive, and I like how like you don't really see that cartoony expressiveness from Pixar all that much. So it was nice to see them do something different, push the boundaries a little bit.
Right on. I liked. I thought it was more. It looked more stop animation to me than it did just digital animation. Just the way
I
that the
think that's just because
characters.
of the hair textures and
Right
things like
on.
that.
Yeah, like well, like the way the characters were designed, just like these big heads and like these long arms and like these like thick little
Yeah,
like sausage fingers. I was like, it reminded me a lot of Wallace and Gromit or Shaun the
yeah.
Sheep. While watching it, I was just like, oh, I wonder, I'm pretty sure some stop animation people are gonna be like, "Hey, stop trying to steal my job, jerk." What did you think? Speaking of the characters' designs, what did you think about the character designs overall? When, especially the mer people, the like street creature people, I'm very interested in what you thought about their designs, the character designs.
They're very different. Like Luca and Alberto, they have like cute kid kawaii looking designs, and then for the mom and dad, they're like pretty cartoony. And then I can't think of the uncle's name,
Hmm.
but the uncle takes advantage of underwater sea creatures in the deep, and thought that was very creative. So I thought, in terms of those designs, they were very well executed.
Right on. Yeah, I did laugh or I chuckled when they're like he's like punch him right in that red thing or
The
whatever his
red
heart.
part.
And I was like, oh, that's funny. That's so funny. Um yeah, no. I thought that the character designs for the sea creatures was very interesting. I liked like the uncle was all from the deep and like or the trench and was all like translucent stuff because that's how fish are down there and stuff. I
Yeah.
thought it was very clever the way they did the the monster designs, the mer people, whatever they were. What were your thoughts about? What did you like think about the story overall?
So the story overall is very simplistic. It's definitely a movie about childhood and definitely going out into the world as a young kid. And I feel like there's like both sides to that. It could be like a younger kid or like a preteen or teenager, and it very felt like Luca was probably around that age, but I think he's a lot younger. I didn't even look it up though,
Right on.
but it definitely felt like that. And then plus, like, you kind of throw on top of really like there's two sides to this, like because a lot of people definitely took two things out of it. One side could be a race allegory, and the other side could be an LGBTQ person, which I, from both sides of the coin, I could definitely see where they're definitely coming from with that one.
Right on. I do have to ask you about that in a little bit, but keep talking. I'm listening.
And it's very reminiscent of Ugly Dolls, and definitely why I enjoy that movie. They're kind of like both in the same realm of definitely kind of being different and kind of proving that, hey, I'm kind of like you guys, and at the same time finding your own group of people that understand you and like you for you.
Right on. Speaking of the like homosexual tendencies and stuff like that, a lot of people are comparing, and they did before this movie came out to Call Me by Your Name. Just that whole thing. Do you think that with this movie that they were queer baiting a little bit?
No,
Nope.
but at the same time, I have not seen Call You by Your Name. Um, but the movie wasn't queer baiting. The thing is, people were definitely shipping Luca and Alberto way before anything. Um, I could definitely see why. There's definitely no, how should I say this? There's no real like shipping in the. I forgot what the filmmaker said, but like I can't Julia, like Luca Julia didn't happen, nor Alberto and Luca. None of those things happened. So I see it more as a friendship, but I could definitely see where people are definitely shipping the two. I definitely ship Luca and Alberto. I think that's a cute summer childhood crush type of thing. So I could see where people are shipping it, but at the same time, in terms of context of the story and everything, there was no fear baiting. It was just a story about three kids having a fun summer and becoming friends.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. I didn't get any like, oh, I love you kind of thing. The only thing I got was like best friend jealousy, and I was like, oh,
Right, that's what it was.
right on. I have to tell you though, I didn't like the story as far as them like wanting to get a Vespa, and like the whole time I'm just like, oh, this is so stupid. I don't care. Like they're all like, oh, I want to win the race, and that girl's like, I'm gonna end your tyranny, and I'm all like, can't they just not? Didn't they just say he was too old? I mean, do they not carry around birth certificates anywhere? I'm like,
They clearly didn't care.
yeah,
They
like
didn't
I'm
want
all
to deal
like,
with that kid's BS.
yeah, like I'm all like, if everybody's saying this kid's too old, then just be like, yeah, you can't compete, dude. Sorry, you're not gonna win your sixth win or whatever. I'd just be all like, there, his tyranny is ended.
For me,
What?
when it came down to that storyline, it felt very, even though there was an adult present, the adult really didn't care, but it definitely felt like Peanuts and Charlie Brown, and how the kids interact with the world, and there's like not too much like parent involvement, and it's just kind of up to the kids to figure things out. And I
Right
felt like
on.
that definitely worked. And in terms of like the Vespa storyline, like both of them, they're both like Ariel, both Alberto and Luca. So like I can see why they wanted it, and like for them that was like, and they said it like multiple times, but for them that was like their freedom to get away from the ocean and do stuff on land. So I could see why they were interested in doing that. So I don't see why, like in terms of my perspective, I thought they definitely worked in terms of the story. Plus, without the Vespa storyline, you wouldn't have the race storyline. So you definitely needed both of those parts for them to work.
Right on. Yeah, I didn't care for it. But I mean, like, again, this movie wasn't exactly my favorite movie. Yeah, and I didn't like that. You brought up Ariel. I didn't like that whole comparison to Ariel thing because it really bothered me. I mean, like, you got a fascination with the human world, and then he even had like a treasure trove of stuff, and I'm all like, what is going on here, Disney? Like, stop it. You stop that right now.
For me personally, because I do love this and The Little Mermaid, the thing is you do not see a lot of stories about mer people. This is why, like, I forgot what summer it was, but I think it was so quick because the live action Ariel movie that's coming up, there's not too many mermaid stories or mer people type of stories. At best, again, like you get like a random Little Mermaid remake by someone not Disney. You get one from Disney. You have the H2O series from Nickelodeon and Netflix, and Aquamarine. Those are the only mermaid type of things I can honestly reference on the top of my head. At best, you're seeing more vampire storylines, werewolf storylines. So, because of this, I'm okay with them kind of copying themselves a bit because you don't really see that. Plus, also, I give them a lot of credit because they could have definitely took the easy way out and made Luca and Alberto both girls because mermaids easy and marketable, and they could have left out a whole boy demographic, but they decided to be a little bit different with this idea. So I give them a little bit of leeway because you just don't see both male mermaid type characters and not too many mermaid content to really make stories about. So I don't mind it too much.
Right on. What if you could change one thing about this movie if you wanted to, what would it be?
Ooh. Um I guess really I would have probably had more focus on the Luca and his parents storyline just to kind of see both perspectives,
Right on.
and maybe focus a little bit more on Alberto's lost father storyline. I think that could have probably helped the the kind of like more of like the background stuff, like as I was saying, like race allegory and LGBTQ allegories. I think that would have probably worked a bit, but because that's not I'm not making the movie. That didn't happen, but I liked what I saw. But if I had to change a few things, that would be something I would have done.
Right on. Yeah, I thought there was a lot of bad parenting in this movie. Like I mean, like the mom and the dad, like they really didn't have any like, say like when their kid ran away, but I was all like, you're just throwing children into water.
Though,
That's not cool. You're a horrible person for one. And then the bad kid, what was his name? Julian or something like that. His name was hold on, I have it written down. Uh uh Arcole. Is that his name?
I forgot his
Yeah.
name.
The
Well,
bully kid. First off, who lets their child just run around a town with a spear? Like, I'm sorry. Like, what is going on here? This town is just letting these children run rampant, doing whatever they want, and they're throwing weapons at each other. It's a lot of bad parenting going around all the way around. And yeah, the whole time I'm just like, what is going on here? Is the yeah, it's yeah, I was like, there's a lot of neglect going on in this little small Italian town.
yeah, well, as I said earlier, in terms of like the mom, that was just mostly for joke purposes. So if it didn't fly with you, like it was a joke, so it's not too much to really look into. It was just a like a splash of the water type of joke, and the mom getting too carried away with football. So I could see why some people would be like, "Yo, that's bad parenting."
Right,
uh,
yeah.
but in terms of like the spear thing, like the whole like I'm pretty sure if they killed off Luca and like there was no moral of the day, I'm pretty sure no one in that town would have cared that a child murder just happened. So
That's funny. Do you think that this movie should have been released in theaters instead of on Disney
I
Plus?
think it should have, just because the animation was like really pretty, and in terms of the time it came out, it definitely has that like childhood summer vibes to it. So I think it would have done a lot better in theaters.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
See, I don't I would not have taken if I would have taken my kids to the theater to see this, I would have been really mad that I wasted so much money on this movie. Uh yeah. I just because I don't know how often you go to the movie theaters, but when I take my kids, we spend like so much money, and I'm all like the last movie we
Because
saw
of the past 2 years, like the last movie I saw was Sonic in theaters, so I haven't been to the theaters in a good while.
yeah, the last movie I took my kids to was Frozen 2, and I was mad about that movie because I did not like that movie at all. And I was all like, man, we wasted so much money on this dung heap. So, um, do you have anything else you want to say about this movie?
No, I think it just for me personally, it just was a movie that kind of has like that slice of life, Peanuts feel, little bit of Craig of the Creek. It was just an all around good movie. Like I don't think that like for me, like I could see why it didn't work for you, let's just say, and other people. But I feel like it's just going to be one of those movies where you either vibe with it or you don't, and that's okay.
Right on. And it could be also one of those movies that it's like, you just need repeat viewing to you know, get a sense of what it is that you missed out on the first time you watched it, because maybe I'll go back and watch it because my kids will be like, I want to watch Luca. And I'll be like, okay. And then I'll sit down and watch it with them. And be like, oh yeah, that's pretty good right there. I didn't catch that the first time. So it might just, I might need it might need more than one viewing and everything.
Right. Okay. So at the beginning, you did bring up to an extent, I forgot how you said it,
Oh,
but
okay.
to an extent, you did say to an extent, this didn't feel like Pixar's wheelhouse of insert movie here.
Hmm.
And I've kind of I've talked about this loosely in most of my videos, but I feel like this whole Pixar magic thing, it doesn't really work, and it never really worked. For example, I love the movie Wall-E.
Yeah.
My mom did not like the movie, so it kind of shows that it really just boils down to you either like this movie or you don't.
Right on.
And I feel like people put way too much pressure on Pixar, and I think this really boils down to way before 2010 reviewing became really honestly a madhouse on the internet. Um, Even though the internet was a thing back then in reviews and stuff, but when it comes down to it, when it comes down to award season, blank movie that has quote unquote the Pixar magic wins all the time. And I think adults are way too used to that and kind of want something bigger and something to say, oh, hey, I can drink my wine and say I'm an adult. I don't have to worry about looking like a kid eating cereal on a Saturday morning while watching Paw Patrol. I could say I'm a grown person watching a sophisticated animated feature length film. So I feel like really people kind of need to say, hey, like you said earlier, this didn't work for me, and like explain why, but don't put too much pressure on the studio because it wasn't like insert Pixar movie here.
Right on. Yeah, no, that's a fair thing to say. All right, you guys. Well, that is our review of Luca. It is now streaming on Disney Plus. You can go watch it over there if you've got a subscription, or you can just sail the seven seas. But if you do go see it, go ahead and tell us what you guys thought about it. Tell us who your favorite character is, what your favorite scene was. Did you eat pasta before or after you watched this movie? Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. Spectre, you won't mind either, will you?
I wouldn't mind either.
Awesome. All right. And we will see you guys next time on our movie reviews. You guys have a good day. Bye.